Okay, no sense waiting. I think we have everyone in the house that needs to be here. All right, I will call this meeting of the Webster Village Planning Board to order. We have one item on the agenda, but before we get to that, let's review the meeting minutes from last meeting. If everything is kosher, we'll get them approved and get them recorded into.
I'll make a motion then to approve the minutes of October 3rd.
Second on that, all in favor? Aye. Okay, all right. We have one matter before the board this evening, Mr. Ed Alcavella, owner of 49 South Ave. He wants to make a modification to his property, extend his driveway / parking area to connect into the village parking lot. So give us a little.
the camera or just the profile?
You can just stand up.
Oh,
Stand up
podium
and-
in the other room. And
Yeah, right.
Oh, that.
Just give us a little synopsis of what you're.
So presently, there's a parking lot back there. There's a paved parking lot, and then there's a gravel parking lot beyond the paved parking lot. And at the moment, there's an opening that exists in one spot where it would be possible for me to drive in and out of there. However, I wanted to do things properly, and, of course, ask permission and do things the right way. So that's why I'm here. I would like to be able to pave that section up through the easement area so that we can get trucks in and out of there easily. At the moment, we have little vans that we bring our equipment in and out of, but occasionally we get like a 24-foot box truck. We either have to back that in from South Avenue or back it out from South Avenue, and it can be a little dangerous. So I'm hoping that we can just use that space that's kind of already connected to begin with, and then just drive in and out, make it a little safer and easier for us to do that. That's kind of it, really.
Okay. No, I got it. I read the gist of what you were trying to do. Makes perfect sense to me from a safety perspective. Obviously, it's very close, so I just drove by, walked it. I see what you're up against. I see that the church parking lot right next door has an arrangement. They have a straight through into. So really, the only issues are easement documentation with the village, because we'd have the village, that community parking area, I would assume part of the village, they would have to grant a permanent easement for him to connect his property into that parking area. He will be technically losing one dedicated parking space. If you do a straight through.
Is it only one parking space, or it looks like it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 parking spaces?
No, that's the easement area, showing the whole easement.
Well, why do you need an easement over all of this part over
I was
here?
just showing the easement, that's all. So simply showing how much of the easement is across there. We don't need permission to go through the whole thing. It's just
What
the
easement?
easement that backs up to my property is here. This is the space that we would be using.
There's an easement that already exists, are you saying?
Well, I assume the easement from the property from the village area to my area, there's an easement, right? I mean, like there's in the front of the property? Isn't there an easement in front of the property where, like up to the sidewalk, isn't that considered?
No, that's not an easement. You own the land. I'd have to look at your deed, but I assume you own the portion of your property that goes across the sidewalk and out to South Avenue,
So
the
that's
street.
just my
So-
ignorance, legal ignorance.
Yeah, so there is not an existing easement, and again, I assume you and Jake came up with this.
Yes.
And I have not talked to Jake.
Jake helped me.
Why do you need, why does it extend,
All the way across.
why does it have to extend the width
It
of your lot?
doesn't, it simply doesn't.
Well, because you're giving up more parking spaces than you would
Right.
otherwise need
No.
to.
I don't think
again,
he
I don't
doesn't mean he's
need
gonna
to
do
that.
anything with
It's
that,
just
he's just showing it.
No, But look, Jake also included, I don't know if you guys have it in your packet, the actual easement agreement
Uh-huh.
that's proposed. And if you read on the very back, the description that Jake's proposing, it's that whole area in yellow, which
Right, 'cause that was-
includes
right.
all of those spaces.
It was confusing, yes.
And I don't understand, and again, I haven't talked to Jake, and I don't know what your discussions with Jake are, but you don't need.
I certainly don't.
You don't need all those
I don't need
spaces
all those
to the
spaces.
east.
Absolutely.
But I don't know why he's doing it. The other
Yeah.
thing I gotta talk to Jake about, because again, reading his description, he talks about, I'm not sure the village owns that back parking lot, or the Northeast Joint Fire District owns that back parking lot.
He
But you're
actually-
shaking your head no, but you haven't read what Jake put
Yeah.
here, where the way he's got it phrased, he says, beginning at the southwest corner of the parcel conveyed by the grantor, which is the village,
Right.
to the Northeast Joint Fire District. To me, that indicates the fire district owns it, in which case the easement's gotta come from them, not the village.
Up to the corners, I believe, the way it's stated.
Well, I don't know, again, not knowing, I don't know where the deed description is to the northeast, like, I haven't sat down with Jake, I don't know how he came up with it. But to me, it seems that the fire district owns something back here.
They own the
Best of
wall.
my knowledge, they own the wall and back to.
Up to the corner.
Well, that's not what he's got, that's not how Jake has it described here. Where's the wall's here?
Yeah.
The wall's right here.
Fire district owns the wall and.
Wall.
Well, that's-
on this side.
Right there.
But then he's got, but if you read it, he's
Oh,
got,
retaining wall, right, on the property, the property.
well, I'll have to.
Oh, okay.
I'll have to sit down with Jake, but in any event, assuming the village owns it, and I'll talk to Jake, if you don't care about,
No, I certainly don't, I just.
so it's like you're only gonna lose one parking space,
Right,
right?
That would
So
make
we
sense.
could
That
change it so
better,
that the easement's only this little piece here.
so technically, I mean, there's a bunch of trees right here.
Yeah.
But it looks, if the driveway extends straight through, we would
Right.
lose this parking space.
Right.
But you would probably not want somebody parking there, although,
There's actually quite a bit of space there.
yeah,
There's a big tree back there somewhere.
Yeah, it's right in here.
There was, yeah, there's a tree here, and there's another big tree right here.
right. So I could see where they're
But
losing.
you propose the tree's gonna stay there.
It could, I mean, there's no reason for it to come out, because it's about 10 feet away from this area.
Mhm.
About three up there.
If the easement was granted across this whole property, which is basically the grassy knoll, let's call it the grassy knoll for discussion purposes, then what that would technically, surmise, would allow this whole area to be cleared and paved, which we wouldn't want. So the easement,
Well, it's hard
Definition.
to tell on this picture where the pavement
Right, that
starts
was
and
a
stops.
lousy picture.
probably right at the end of these lines.
Okay.
So these are parking spaces and
Right.
this is green space. So I think the easement description, if it's truly village property, would need to be from the
The edge of the
stone wall line
Mhm.
straight to the edge of the pavement,
Right,
across, enough for 15 foot of the driveway, plus, maybe another 2 or 3 feet as a buffer. So at most, the village would be giving up these 2 spaces.
Yeah. So
This
I'll-
would remain green because it would not be part of the easement. This would still,
Right.
this area would still be part of village property. But they would allow you to
Yeah.
use this portion
right.
to extend the
And
driveway.
that's what I'm proposing.
Okay.
Okay, so we'll just have to get the
I'll swap it.
easement.
I'll swap it.
Language wise.
You keep that.
I gotta go to Jake and ask him why he did it so wide.
Ed, are you planning on keeping the rest of the area grassy? Or do you-
It's gravel.
Yeah,
So, yeah, I'm just planning on leaving it.
And
this
are you
is the way
going
it's-
to
I was-
add any extra parking?
It's already a gravel parking lot back here.
Right,
and
I was
it's
there.
Yeah,
This
and
is-
I'm planning
looks
on
like
leaving
this
it
is
the way it is.
paved.
Oh, that's what,
This is
okay, so you're gonna
gravel.
leave it as is?
Yeah, I'll leave
not
it as is, except for the
expanding or
driveway.
anything, okay.
No. I mean, people park on it from the village all the time when there's events and things like that.
Really?
I don't care, it's fine.
Right. I mean,
And they get to it off of South Avenue, they come down
They
your driveway?
come down my driveway. We don't use the place at night.
Right.
They fill the parking lot right up, it's fine.
Right, and then the
And
summers.
when Burke's, the funeral parlor
Right.
has their funerals, people from Burke's.
They come to you?
At night.
Burks,
Yeah, in fact,
Bar.
when I went by, I noticed there were several cars parked out there
Already?
already.
Yeah. Maybe there's a funeral tonight.
There is, yeah.
Yeah.
Could
I
be.
drove by
Is that right? I didn't
earlier.
notice that.
I didn't.
You know how it
pay
comes
attention.
up the
Yeah, they
sandwich board
put the
sign?
sign up
Yeah.
and then they have the
And there
parking
was
lot
one.
place.
and we still.
A little bit off the subject, what is Robotech? What is your business?
Robotech, try to make it simple. We are a video company that does things mostly with robotic cameras. So we'll go into a situation like this, and we'll have robotic cameras cover an event like this or concerts. Today we did something for paychecks at the War Memorial.
Heard about that.
We cover things like surgeries, concerts, symposiums. I can't think of anything but a wedding that we haven't covered. So, we get into some really interesting stuff.
Very good.
You do drones?
No drones. That market is pretty saturated, so we've stayed away from it. But I started doing the robotic stuff back in 1996, before, I think I was literally one of the first in the country to do that. And we've become pretty well known throughout the country.
So you're a geek, and I say that with
I'm a
affection.
geek, yeah.
Very good, very good. Okay, all right. Well, I think, do we have a better understanding of what the requirements and needs are? All right, any questions from the board? Kathy?
Nope, I guess I did fine.
You're good. All right, normally, we open it up to the public at large and nothing?
Nothing.
It's very uncharacteristic of you. Normally I don't get a shrug.
No objections from the public. How's that?
All right,
Sounds good.
it's always a good thing when there's no violent opposition.
That's right.
Okay, public discussion, done, back to the board. Okay, so, any issues, problems, concerns? All right, so then, basically, what we have in front of us is a recommendation. No? We
No,
are just
it's
a
not a
get up or
recommendation.
down. Well,
It's,
Okay, we can say
It's-
yay,
it's the
Or nay.
approval of an amendment to a site plan.
yes, okay, that's the right word.
Because originally, Ed must have had a site plan when it became a commercial use. And now he's seeking an amendment to the site plan, which requires planning board approval only,
Okay,
okay?
all right. And,
And first for seeker,
yep,
tell me if you think this applies. It could be a type 2 if it is the construction or expansion of a primary or accessory / appurtenant non-residential structure. Is the little apron driveway, could we call that a structure? Involving less than 4,000 square feet of gross floor area, not involving a change in zoning or a use variance, consistent with local land use controls, but not radio communication or microwave transmission facilities, which this isn't. So if you think we could shoehorn it in there,
I think,
it would be a type 2,
I think it sounds like a type 2.
which requires no environmental review.
Right.
So you would just need to take a resolution declaring that it's a type 2 action.
I'll make that, motion?
As a type 2,
Right. Seeker type
Seeker?
2 action.
okay,
I second that.
Karen seconds, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, and the next motion would be for an amendment to the existing site plan to extend your driveway into the existing village parking area. And this would be pending the correct
easement, agreement.
calculations and
Right,
definitions of
it's
easement
it's
to the
conditioned,
property.
right, it's conditioned upon obtaining an easement agreement with the village.
Right. Whatever
And
that,
so the little extension, you intend, that it'll be asphalt, you're gonna pave it.
Yes,
Because the way the easement, have you seen the easement agreement?
I did,
Okay.
yeah, and
Because it
I sort of
requires.
understood it, but I can't pretend to
That's
say
a
I
lot of-
understood it
important-
completely.
The actual, the
There's a lot
two
of jigs and
important,
jogs in there.
the most important part for yourself is
Yes,
this paragraph 2H, where the grantee, Village Heights Properties LLC, shall pay for 100% of the cost of maintenance upon that portion of the easement area which is not currently improved with an asphalt surface, to include that portion of an asphalt apron to be installed to provide ingress and egress to the property of the grantee. So you're responsible to,
to pave right up to the.
well, and then to maintain it. You
plow it.
gotta plow it, you
Sure.
gotta,
Oh, I expect.
you gotta seal it, if it crumbles, you gotta replace it, that
Mhm.
thing, alright?
Pretty good at that stuff.
That was a lot of legalese in this.
Alright.
yes, there's a lot.
Man,
Once they start throwing
I will
the,
tell you, Jake drafted this, not me, so. That's good.
Well, I was just pleased to have somebody help me with it, to be honest with you. I didn't know what I was doing, and both Will and Jake helped me out quite a bit.
Mhm.
I do appreciate their help.
Now, are you gonna pave all the way through the gravel?
I likely will,
Yeah.
unless you feel like that I shouldn't, but I think it would make it easier to maintain.
Sure. Oh, I agree.
That's what I,
Yes,
that's what I would
absolutely.
do.
Now, the $64,000 question though
Yes.
is, when do you think you're gonna get
Well, I
this work
can't pave
done?
it this season because the asphalt company's closed as soon as it starts doing what it's doing right now.
Generally, you have until, the rule of thumb in the construction business is Thanksgiving,
Okay?
depending on if there's no big DOT work going on,
Yeah.
but if there is and the plants are open, you can get asphalt.
Okay,
But generally speaking,
I'll look into it right away.
cutoff date is
Yeah,
around
I'll
Thanksgiving.
certainly look into it right away, and likely I'm gonna have to have a permit from Will, I would imagine,
Yeah.
right? So.
Right.
Well, then we gotta get the easement agreement.
The easement agreement.
Yeah.
Right, the
Good
easement
stuff.
agreement,
So if
all
I can
that
do it
legalese
sooner,
has to be
I'll do it
resolved.
sooner certainly, but if I can't, I'll have to wait until the spring.
Mhm.
You know, I'll get together with Jake to, because we just gotta revise his description here, which is too big.
Okay.
You know, because he has it 13 feet by 47 feet, you don't need the entire 47 feet.
No, certainly not.
Right.
Right. No, he needs basically, I'm gonna say
It's
it's
probably-
probably 8, 10, 12 foot.
Yeah.
I mean, if I wanted to take some of those trees out of there, like
Well,
that
15
bigger
probably.
tree, would that be a problem?
Only if,
If they're
If
in the
if the tree,
easement,
if the tree is where, Chris indicated,
Yeah.
it's probably not on your property, so
I see, I see.
you can't take the tree down unless, although the village probably, I don't know what kind of tree it is, if it's a nice tree or a scrub
It's,
tree
they're
or,
mostly scrubs in there.
yeah,
you know, the village probably wouldn't care, but you need to get, because it doesn't look like the trees are on your property.
Right.
And the way we're gonna, it may be in the easement area, but the easement allows you to maintain your
Just
little
that one
driveway.
piece.
It doesn't tell you get to maintain, cut down trees and stuff,
Sure.
right.
but,
So really, it's really gonna depend on the 15-foot width and where that lands in relationship to
Right.
the trees.
right.
I looked at it just before I got here, you know, line of sight tells me you're gonna miss the trees.
Yeah,
And
no,
you're gonna still have a couple
it'll,
feet of
it'll miss the
buffer.
tree the way it is.
So,
Yeah.
but that's probably
But I don't know
gonna
if the
take.
tree is real close, cause sometimes, you know, tree roots can sometimes mess up.
Oh, I'm sure they're
new
gonna do that.
asphalt and stuff,
Mm.
and if it, so maybe you wanna get rid of the tree, I don't know.
Well, again, if
But again,
if
that's
you
a
don't mind, I'd
discussion,
like to clean that up a little bit.
well, that's a discussion with
It's-
Jake.
Okay,
You know,
you know, I don't mind
I
the
don't-
expense of cleaning it up.
yeah, I don't imagine the,
I like things to look nice.
right, I don't imagine he's gonna have an objection to
Yeah.
cleaning it up,
Okay.
as long as the grassy knoll is maintained.
Right. That's right. I mean, it may make sense to get those scrub trees out of
Sure.
there,
Yeah,
you know, for everybody's
Yeah.
sake.
right.
And I'd certainly maintain that area if you
Mhm.
would allow me to. I used to have the property 69 right
Uh-huh.
at the end there, and I guess I'm guilty, I never asked anybody's permission, but I maintained that whole stretch for 30 years, so. Including making sure the scrub didn't grow in, and I planted the whole thing with hostas.
Okay.
Well,
so-
I'll see if I can get a hold of Jake tomorrow, and I'll talk to him about whether he has any objection to removing that tree or not.
Okay.
And if you wanna clean up the rest of it,
Yeah,
even if it's not within the easement area, I don't think he's gonna care, it's like free labor, and, you know, it's
well,
just
and I
one
had
less
that
thing the
little bit of
village
that
needs.
discussion with him earlier, and maybe that's the reason why he included all of that. I don't know.
Maybe, you could be
Yeah.
right. Maybe
Because
he was
Oh, yeah.
maybe he was anticipating you cleaning all that up.
And again, I did have that discussion with him. I told him, I said, I don't mind
Okay,
cleaning all that up, and maybe that's the reason why he included that.
all right.
Okay, all right, but we still have to Make a motion.
Right.
for the approval of the amendment to the site plan for the easement into the parking place. You gonna do it?
Okay, I'll do it
You
then.
can do it.
I'll make a motion.
Motion.
She's on this.
Site plan
Let's see,
approval.
we're altering the original site plan by adding an egress and ingress to the village property over there.
Correct.
Extension of the driveway.
Extension of the driveway over.
Okay,
Second that.
all in favor?
Aye.
Aye?
Aye.
Okay, all right,
Thank you.
pending obviously
Of course,
the correct easement,
Get the easement.
the rest of the.
locations,
yeah.
and all that legal stuff.
So we get the easement straightened out, you sign that, technically, it's subject to the village trustees passing a resolution authorizing the mayor to sign the easement, but there's a meeting this Thursday, they could, as long as Jake straightens out the description, we could put it on the agenda for Thursday.
Okay.
So, so next Friday, a week from tomorrow, you could be all set to.
Okay. Is that something that I would need to attend, or is that something that?
No. If you
I
want to
don't know how
attend,
this stuff works.
if you want to attend, of course, you're
You're
free
more
to
than
attend,
welcome.
but otherwise, Jake and I will explain what's going on.
Okay.
They've already, Jake already told them what you were planning to do, and the trustees, no one had an objection, so.
I see.
So now it's the formality of actually taking the resolution to authorize the mayor to sign the thing.
Well, I
But
usually
you don't
work
need
on
to be-
Thursday night, so.
But you don't
I
need to be
don't
there.
have to be
No,
there,
you
I
don't,
likely will not.
no, you don't need to be there,
Thank you.
okay?
Yeah.
All right,
Okay,
that'll do it.
that's it. Well, you are good to
All
go.
right.
The only other order of business is me to remind myself to get my training done this year. Duly noted.
By December,
Yeah?
get on that.
Where are you gonna find a class this time of year?
Oh, I just got the notice from New York State. There's classes coming up, so
Okay.
I'll do it. Okay, otherwise I don't wanna get Mr. Byers on my case. Chasing me.
All right, do you need
Okay.
a motion to close?
Motion to close?
All right, so made.
Seconded?
Yeah,
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Very
Very
good.
good.
thank you.
Thank you all.
You're very good.
Thank you.